Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Skull and Bones. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So today we're using our map making skills, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So previously we had gotten a couple of different cannons, a new ship, and we've gotten a few new contracts, increased our infamy. So we're on the path to increasing our power journey, our power story within the game. So now we're looking at how to get the next ship, which is the cutter. We have the blueprint for the cutter, but we don't have the materials, so we need to find those materials. Now there's two ways to go about it. As we're looking on the map, there's a trade route, so we can look for ships in those areas. Use the spyglass, see if they're carrying what we need, take it from them, or we can go to one of the towns and we can either plunder the town and get it that way, or we can buy it from them. So the least piratey way of getting the ship would be to pay for the materials ourselves and then build the ship. Now, one of the most difficult things that you can do in the game, well, at least that I'm aware of so far, is to plunder these towns. Depending on the size of the town and the type of defense that they have, they will be more or less difficult to deal with. Another player, you have that, PvP opportunity where they're damaged, they're hurt. You have a pretty good shot at maybe taking them out and taking their loot. A very piratey thing to do. But, when someone else is literally in the same boat as you, you kind of feel like, hey, I know the trials and tribulations that you're going through, and I don't want to add on to that. But that's one of the decisions that you'll have to make as you see these other ships that are piloted by other players. And I mentioned before that I thought Ubisoft had talked about having servers that is purely PvE and then others that are PvP. But I don't know if that is true going forward or if you're all going to be within this dark zone of Skull and Bones where it's PvE, VP all day, all the time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that regard. For the most part, people have been pretty good. I've not had too many people. I've only had so far one person that tried to attack me. You can see a storm rolling in or maybe rolling away, but we're not going in that direction. So you see these like little ships These little dhows. Alright, found a trade route. But not the trade route that we're looking for. We're slowly making our way. The downside of trimming the sail, you get increased speed, but you have increased turn radius. Alright, I think I need to turn here. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I think so. Oh, there we go. We had a decent amount of the map pop up there. So there we go. Interact or plunder. Merchant or pirate. It might as well say. I can see the waypoint I put on the map now. I'm close enough. And I think, if I remember looking at the map correctly, that this will go through. Yeah. So that's a town. Yeah, I have to say I do like the way that the fog of war rolls out. You get to a certain area and then you get a chunk of the map revealed instead of just like 50 feet around you or whatever the case may be. So there's towers around the town that you have to be aware of, that you have to take out if you're going to plunder. And then any allied ships, they're going to attack you. So, bronze ingot. And we need, I want to say 6. Alright, there we go. We got 6 ingots and traded silver for it. Grilled bread. Isn't that what we call toast? Grilled bread. So there's a supply route. We can go to the supply route and look for boats and take it from the boats that have it. It would be several. It would take several boats. More than likely, it would take several boats. I'm highly anticipating several boats. Once again, we got the wind in our face instead of at our backs, making travel slower. When you're in a small delta or river like this is, you don't really have a lot of options how you can travel to increase your speed. Yeah, when I trim the sail, you always tilt a little bit to the one side, and then I worry a little bit that the sail is going to catch on like one of the trees or something. End up damaging the ship. Alright, we're making our way, I don't want to say slowly, but with the wind going the way it is taking a little bit longer. I don't know if we can fit through there. That seems awfully small. We might be able to. It'd be pretty tight. Alright, so the lumberyard, they've got the planks that I need. It's like, it's not terrible. How many planks do you want? There. So I've got the planks. I've got the bronze ingot, and I already have the jute. So I'm actually done. I can go back to wherever it's at, St. Anne, go to the shipwright, and have them make that new ship. And this is really only a small portion of the total map, I believe. We'll have to take a look at the map at some point. So I could go back the way I came, or I could go a different route. I think going back might be faster, assuming the wind's going in the same direction. Coconut, coconut, coconut. Got an undiscovered place. You see the spyglass partially go up but not finish. Disembark. Royal Burial Ground. Ah, here we go. So there's caches at these places that aren't towns that act as a warehouse, but I don't know that it is a warehouse. Like, I don't think it's the same as a warehouse. I think it's separate. I'd have to take a look. So the things you store out in the islands, you can only get back at the islands. Things in the towns, you can only get in the only town we've been to so far is St. Anne. There we go. We got some fresh water. That's good for stamina. If you remember one of the early trailers for this game, they had talked about if you don't take care of your crew, they'll boot you out of the captain's seat and maroon you on an island. And I think that had to do with keeping them fed. So I haven't seen that mechanic in the beta. And honestly, it's just as well. It's not a pirate micromanagement game. It's more of a pirate RPG adventure type game. It'd be a more punishing dynamic rather than a rewarding one. So you do what you have to keep your crew from giving you the boot. So we got a stamina boost. That's always good. We'll take it. And we got a trader that we can see. Rogue trader. Let's see what you got. You can sell and buy stuff from him. Looks like cosmetics. And then we can sell any excess that we have. Alright, so didn't really feel like unloading anything or buying anything. So let's go ahead and make our way back. Grab a couple of silver. We grab some cannonballs while we were exploring this little island, so it's not like it was time wasted. We could fast travel back. I don't know if you saw that. We could fast travel back, but it would cost you silver in order to do it. So if you are on land, on foot, you can fast travel to anywhere to a destination like St. Anne, which is probably where you'd want to fast travel to the majority of the time. But it'll cost you silver in order to do it. So, money or time, what's more important to you? Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of spare silver at the moment. So I really need to take the slow boat back instead of fast traveling. And it's not entirely bad. I don't know if that goes all the way through. I'm going to have to go all the way up and around just to be certain. And because the wind isn't directly at our backs, every time I look at the map, I get blown off course a little bit. Let my stamina come back, and then trim the sail, get a little boost in speed, and then stamina gets low, and then cut back on the speed, and just rinse and repeat. Some of these boats are interesting looking. It's very foggy by the shore. Or was. I don't know if it still is. There we go. Just not quite close enough sometimes to get the goods with the spyglass. As you're going along, you can do a little looting along the way. Just be careful at how many boats are around that are in the same faction, because you don't want them all dog piling on top of you, because that would be a bad situation. Oop, a little bit high. Depending on how far away your ship is, you might have to aim a little bit high. If you hit the mast, you do some damage, but not a lot. You really want to hit the... There we go. Oop, that was way too low. Oop, that was too low because I was too far away. Now I'll come back out so I can get a good look at where they're going and try to get up close to them. And get to the point where I can... There we go. There, look at that. Some bonus loot, some silver, repair kit, and some jute. Yeah, as you get into more and more trouble with a faction, I'm guessing it gets very dangerous. the weavers. Oh, look at that. They've got some fine jute. So if I needed it, I could get it from them. I can't believe you just rammed me. And you've got the gall to start aggroing me. Like, I was stopped there for a good 30 seconds. I don't care how big your boat is, you can go around. He said, look out for me, not the other way around. Yeah, you can see I get ever so high, ever so much higher, closer to that line where the cargo hold is getting a little too full. Alright, so is this my turn? I think so. I think we can turn here and then move. Man, we do not have any room to spare in this river. It's widened out a little bit at least. I've had to back off on the speed because there's no way I'm going to make some of these turns otherwise. So I wonder if the larger boats aren't able to come down here because they're too big. Well, it's an interesting dynamic. So if you're in a dhow, let's say, and another player is being aggressive towards you, you can go into an area that only you can, so that it's kind of off limits for them, where they have to back off or wait for you or whatever. But if there's 2 or 3 people, one of them can wait there and the other can go around the other side and pick you off. So it's not a perfect getaway situation, but it's at least one option that'll delay your inevitable demise. There we go. We can force it open. What do you got? Yeah, silver. I'll definitely take the silver. Repair kit. Can always use those. Torn sail, metal set. That stuff. It's like, it is important, but it isn't important. By the same token. So it's like, it is, but it isn't. And the wind's coming right at us. Again. Like, I understand you can't always have the wind at your back, but why does it feel like every time I'm in a river I can't make headway or quickly make headway because I am going against the wind? One of the interesting game mechanics is that you can call for help if you're wanting to plunder a city or a ship, a particular target. So if you're going up against the odds, you can call for other players to help you out. And I don't know that they just are summoned where they'll like teleport next to you, or if they'd have to make their way over to you. Oh, there's a active world event. We're relatively close by. I know there was a little cosmetic that you could get if you were involved with a world event. but I don't know how difficult world events are or what they entail, so it's difficult to say if it's worth getting involved in it or not. At some point before my time runs out, I will get involved in at least one world event, but I definitely don't want to go with a boat full of goods. Alright, so right now I just want to go get back to the shipwright and get that new ship built. See what it's good for in comparison to the one we have. So the Badar is a small ship specializing in DPS and has a bonus for ramming other ships. I think it does 25% more damage, and then it torn sails don't hinder it as much. Something to that effect. Alright, so this guy, he's got a contract that I think we're done with. There we go. We got an armor piece we can put up on our ship if it has a slot. Got a couple other things that we picked up as a result. It's like, yeah, I know you probably have other things, but I want to go talk to this guy. Alright. I want my ship. Sentinel. Class cutter. Small. It's a support. It's a support. So it's... Alright. Boom, just like that. Done. Gives you a feel for how big the ships can get when there's so much extra space on the screen for that one. Change ship. Yes, please. The Badar is just kind of a basic ship. Just looking at the different ships that are available, at least from this guy. I assume there's either other shipwrights or other ships that you can get, but just by other means. Oh, look at that tank. So, you know, you've got your DPS ships, you've got your tanks, you've got your support ships. Depending on your play style, depending on the guns, depending on your loadout, I think will determine what ship is best for you. And the only way to really figure that out is to play around with it. Try different ships, try different guns to go with different ships, and different armor, and just try different things and see what works out.
My sister was strong and I miss her.
Yeah, definitely need a better spear. Give me that metal harpoon. Not a piece of lumber that was sharpened. So better tools make things easier or available. So when we're doing the coconuts, we can get more coconuts or get them faster. Or, you know, you go for other types of things, other raw materials that were locked because we didn't have the correct level of tool in order to get them. So there we go. We got some new tools. turned in the contract, got a new boat.
Here, that was quick. You must enjoy my sturdy company then.
Of course. What are we going to put on the boat besides all the cargo that we had previously? And that's the other thing. How much cargo can the new one hold versus the old one? I didn't even bother to look. Like, yes, give me the Bombard. Boy, they make it look easy, don't they? Just give it a solid whack with a hammer, and boom, there it is. I mean, you can see there's a lot of guns that are available. Just a lot of them are locked due to infamy requirements or, what have you. I mean, I'm definitely interested in seeing how those, oh man. So I made a Bombard cannon, but I can't make ammunition for it. Well, I don't suppose there's a blueprint somewhere for him. It doesn't look like he has them. He has blueprints for the actual things, not for the ammunition. I'd have to go around and try and find if someone has a blueprint and then make sure that I have the actual stuff for the blueprint. So all these jobs give you silver. So if you're low on silver, nice. Pirate in the background had a little too much rum. You can't hold your rum, Granny. Yeah, that's the other thing you have to understand. The contracts that you get from vendors and whatnot, those are... I don't have enough silver. Oh. The contracts you pick up from the board, they expire. So you don't want to pick them up until you're ready to actually work on them. So it always gives you something that you can do to improve your status, either from silver with the jobs or the bounty, which would give you infamy. I assume it gives you infamy. All right. Looking to see what I have here. All right, go back to the guy in charge.
Hey, better watch your mouth in there.
Boy, these guys. Indication to not mess with him.
Thanks to Captain Fuck up here, I got a
Skurlock.
French hound sniffing right up my sweaty arsehole. Get him out my sight.
Don't want to get on his bad side, or at least not without being prepared. Pirate's got a pirate, right?
You've seen my ships in the harbour.
Skurlock, though, he's as much politician as pirate. He's got a nice big boat that he keeps in the bay, but he doesn't actually send it out to do anything. At least not on the regular. Sits in his nice leather chair behind his nice wood desk, telling other pirates their business. So the way I understand it, these kingpins, like Skurlock, you do bounties for them, you increase your infamy. Once you get to a certain level or max it out, I don't know which, then all of a sudden
Those that would kill you.
you can carve out your own space as a kingpin. You can create a
You want this chance, Cully?
hideout,
It's yours. But don't you give me reason to rule
but that's
out.
much, much further down the line.
Refineries are getting very costly. Now take
That's
your job.
more of the end game than anything. So it's when you get, when you already have a fleet of ships,
I want
you have a
some guns
pretty
from
solid
cowboys
hold
who can
on
see me.
the game mechanics and your play style versus what ship you should be using for what
They get the
purpose,
weapons they need from me, and I get full reign of this port.
and being prepared and having that map awareness and
They've been long at war with the clan of Farah. So
knowing when to fast travel and when to take your boat to get around.
exploit
These
it.
little options,
If I didn't supply weapons, the clan of Farah would have buried the
I don't
secret
think it really
from the
changes anything other than what he says back to you.
coast. Some of the seamen will trade goods, others offer information. As long as
It's
the
only of
trade
interest
on,
because
the
it's
agreement stands.
It's like, what would I say as a pirate, or what would you say?
Fight, but never to dominate. We got ourselves a
And what's your backstory as a pirate?
returning.
I mean, we have a little bit of a backstory. We were survivors from
Keep that fire burning.
whatever happened in the beginning there. All right. So as long as he keeps giving us contracts, we can keep progressing. Yeah, I feel like I already picked that up. Fangs of Farah in the Red Isle. Let's see what we can cook here. There's some things that have been unlocked. I do like that. Yeah, I should have looked a little bit more on that second page. The first page, I noticed it was only stamina. All that stuff just boosts your stamina. All right, new ship. Got a outfitter with all the goods. All right, so the first thing to do is put cannons on. I want those bombard cannons right up front. Then we'll have demi cannons. Just looking at the stats, I'm trying to decide because I do tend to favor one side when I'm getting into a fight. I've noticed. So I'll do that, and then one more. There we go. Now all the cannons are accounted for. Attachments. I don't know which one I should put on. There's only one slot for attachments. Alright. Furniture. I only have the one piece of furniture, so I'm going to steal that from my other ship. Gives you a little boost when you have full stamina. Now the ship cosmetics. We've got sets. Things that all go together. You can pick and choose. I'm going to pick from the stuff that I already have. Like some of this other stuff looks pretty cool, but yeah, having the trim, just doing some of the vendor contracts have given me some of these items, which is cool.
Finished up around here, Captain?
Nothing there. Just keep going down and look for stuff that I have. Oh, there we go.
More
Can
cannonballs,
get
Captain. Best be to bed.
different outfits. Oh, there we go. We got a lemur. Eye patch lemur for money or regular lemur. There we go, and that's it. And now we can give our ship a name. The Jolly Roger. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know that the ship name comes up for anyone else other than you, so I don't know. I don't know how important that is.
Hey, you wanna set sail?
I didn't feel like I could do cutter run since I already did better run on the last ship. Too much of the same thing. Alright, transfer to the warehouse. At least you can do that here. You can go to the warehouse and do it there. You can go here at the dock, transfer stuff to the warehouse. You can see that there is a capacity in the warehouse, but it does take a while. It takes a lot longer to fill up the warehouse than it does your cargo hold. So better to put stuff into the warehouse that you don't need immediately. Like if you're going to be taking some commodities, some cloth or gems, what have you, doesn't matter, whatever, spices, if you're going to be taking that somewhere, then keep that in the cargo hold because you're going to need it. But if you have stuff that you don't need, cannons, armor, furniture,
Balls are heavy.
put it in the warehouse. If it's part of the boat, you know, like you've installed it in the boat, then it doesn't count towards your cargo hold and it's out of the loot pool. All right, and away we go. New boat.
Scalloped
It's
allies
a
are in short supply these days. Give the sea people its weapons.
support ship.
Like canaries.
Ready for trek
The hull of the ship, I think, looks very similar. I mean, how many differences can there be? But for the same size ship, because this is also a small ship. But I feel like the sails are larger on this ship. Speed seems to be about the same. I would have thought it would have been a little bit faster. Maybe it is. I'd have to take a look, take some time and actually look at the different stats of the boats. When you're on a time limit, you know, minutia like that, details get left behind.
Captain! Sandstorms over there!
Trade route discovered. Alright. I mean, you can always spend a lot of your time picking up raw materials. Fill up your cargo hold with raw materials and then go back and sell them. Doesn't really cost you anything other than time. But that will not, that's very much merchant miner type profession.
Don't let her trick.
our way past this town, or probably have to go around. If we're going up to the tip of the island there. Unfog the map is certainly something that you want to do at least eventually. It's like, well, I could go that way, but it's kind of the long way around. And I did unfog the map a little bit, so that's good. Eventually want to get as much as we can. Oop, there we go. Alright, so I see a decent number of ships sailing around the storm just to the right. And then our waypoint right there. It's still within the fog. I think if we cut to the left that we can still get to it. Might be a little bit of a hassle. But only one way to find out. So we'll go up there and see what's up and go from there. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
The wind is ours!
Huh? Thank you, Captain. Hunting wild game is not an easy task. Are you sure you're up to it? Farewell, Captain.
Good day to you. Follow the stars and you'll never be lost.
プレイステーション